Downing Street's braced for more explosive revelations from the Prime Minister's former chief advisor Dominic Cummings as he makes a much-anticipated appearance before MPs. He's been vocal in his condemnation of Boris Johnson, Health Secretary Matt Hancock and others since leaving government after a behind-the-scenes power struggle in November. Ahead of giving evidence to the Commons Health and Social Care and Science and Technology Committees later, Mr Cummings set out his criticism of the government's approach to the pandemic. In a series of tweets, he said the policy to build up resistance in the population by allowing some spread of the disease was only dropped in March last year after a warning it would lead to a catastrophe. Meanwhile, people aged 30 and over can now book their COVID-19 jab. NHS England says around 1 million people aged 30 and 31 will get a text message in the coming days asking them to come forward for their vaccine. Health Secretary Matt Hancock has praised what he's described as the phenomenal pace of the vaccination programme. Guidance for 8 areas considered hotspots for the Indian variant of coronavirus is to be updated to make it clear there are no local lockdowns imposed. The government says it would instead be issuing advice to those living in the London borough of Hounslow and other places after ministers were accused of bringing in rules on socialising and travelling by stealth. There had been confusion over whether local lockdowns had effectively been put in place in the West London borough, as well as in Burnley, Bedford, Blackburn, Darwen, Bolton, Kirklees, Leicester and North Tyneside. MPs have said Education Secretary Gavin Williamson had no plan and was unprepared for the pandemic, which caused damage to children. The Commons Public Accounts Committee says the Department for Education seemed surprisingly resistant to the idea of conducting a lessons learned exercise on its early response to the crisis. When schools were closed to most pupils, the DfE set no standards for in-school or remote learning during the rest of the school year, meaning children had very unequal experiences, according to the report.